is one where people can use their voices to make music.
For me, a barrier-free world is one where all the obstacles to developing our God-given potential have been removed. In such a world, those of us with disability are given our place in the sun. Our humanness is recognized as 1,000 times more important than our disability.
My vision for a barrier-free world is a world where adults and children have a home and community where they can thrive and achieve all that they desire and reach their highest potential. Vibrant, diverse, and rich communities are the core of a healthy society.
To me, a barrier-free world is a world that I can get up in every morning and not have to worry about the day-to-day things that other people don't have to worry about, such as going to a library. Is there a set of steps that I have to negotiate? Or is there a wheelchair accessible stall that I can use? Or is there an elevator at a subway station? And thanks to Barrier for Living and other agencies such as ours, this world is a lot better than it was 30 years ago.
A barrier-free world to me is me not having to live in fear, me being able to communicate better with my family and with friends and with other people in society, and me knowing the sky's the limit, and I have Freedom House to thank for that. Thank you guys. I love you.
We welcome you to our 30th anniversary celebration and to our 30 Voices, 30 Visions. Barrier-free living means different things to different people. Every day I get Google alerts about barrier-free living, and usually it's people talking about architecture. But the visions that we have are much broader than just doing away with steps or putting in ramps. It's about eliminating the barriers in people's lives that are both physical and attitudinal. And we welcome you to join in the discussion and to hear from our 30 heroes about their visions of barrier-free living.
Barrier-free world to me was always that clients who were medically disabled or handicapped or had some type of disability would get the best of care and would always have assistance in finding appropriate housing so that they would be able to live independently.
When all people accept, honor, and respect different perspectives, whether related to politics, religion, sexual identity, disability, being deaf, hearing, hard of hearing, the world will be barrier-free.
A barrier-free world would be one in which all individuals would have the same opportunities to live decently and to be employed in occupations that are meaningful, in which they can contribute from their own unique skills and talents.
I'm in our technology lab with Ray Fernandez.
Hello.
Who's our assistive technology trainer, and Ray's working on a computer with speech output. For our consumers who are blind or visually impaired, the inability to access print has been an overwhelming barrier until the past few decades. Technology has advanced rapidly, but not everyone has access to it. A barrier-free world would be one in which the assistive technology would be available to anyone who needs it.
It's like a wall that has been broken down and is allowing me to achieve my goals, to help me accomplish my goals and my aspirations, and to help my kids achieve their goals in their education and moral life. Right?
To me, it's just like a wall that was broken down, and it's allowing us to do things that we couldn't do before.
Thank you, Kids Wish! Yay! What a barrier-free world means to me is that I can be the Vice President of Voices in the Treetops.org in spite of my disabilities and more about my capabilities. Barrier-free living.
The ability to lead and have the opportunity to help others to reach their goals, no matter what their disability is.
A barrier-free world to me is a place where all individuals are given the opportunity to maximize their abilities and where all of us are tolerant of one another.
I'm the anger lady, and anger is a huge barrier in our world. It makes us destructive, it makes us get out of touch with what we really want, and it's a huge barrier for everyone. So I would say that's a real disability if it's not being looked at. I think a barrier-free world would be one in which people looked at their anger and learned to process it differently.
It looks like children with disabilities learning in the same classroom with their non-disabled peers. It looks like adults with disabilities working alongside of their non-disabled colleagues. It looks like nursing homes are really places that people choose to go and not places that people are forced to go into because they have no options. It looks like a world where choices and opportunities are the same for people with disabilities as they are for people without disabilities.
To me, a barrier-free world is when a child doesn't stigmatize themselves based on their domestic situation and the circumstances that they are brought into, but see themselves as a valuable person, a person who can achieve something, and a person who doesn't have boundaries based on their living situation, possibly their disabilities or things that are going on at home. And I think that Freedom House and barrier-free living are making that possible for a lot of families.
A barrier-free world would look very liberating to me, and it would be very liberating for others. I dream of a barrier-free world, which would mean that this city and the rest of the world, particularly this city because it's so challenged with old buildings and structures, that anyone could get anywhere at a moment's notice without a second thought of how they're going to get there.
A barrier-free life is when you don't allow anything to get in your way of trying to do everything that you have to do to live as independently as possible. Whether it's a bad attitude, bad circumstances, or anything else. You got to learn to be self-sufficient as much as you can, and then humble enough to ask for help when you need it. And the key is to have a lot of perseverance, and the major key is positivity. You got to be very positive. You have to be willing to take on all your challenges, and don't allow any type of barriers at all to get in your way. Whether it's even something you're battling, or maybe it's the people around you. The key is you keep moving forward, and if you keep moving forward, you'll have a barrier-free life.
A barrier-free world to me is accessible housing, technology aid, and accessibility, breaking down those barriers and creating an opportunity for the disabled to become economically self-reliant and to be part of the mainstream of society. Inclusion, not exclusion. The sky is the limit, and the time is now.
A barrier-free world is simply a world just like everybody